Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in us. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it out. Tonight, we gonna let it out. Tonight, we gonna.
All right, so let's take a look at everything that I got. We're going to start with these, which actually came slightly damp, and these are supposed to be highly absorbent sponges to take the water off the brush. So I thought I'd give them a try. They were only a couple of dollars at St. Louis Art Supply, and they kind of warped as they dried. They're very unusual, very kind of hard. So that will be an experiment in itself, along with, I thought I would give this tape a try. It's the Nichiban. I heard that it's very good. I really like Holbein tape, but this came in actually a narrower width, which I really like. So I thought I'd give that a whirl. And I had used these 100% cotton Hanamulla watercolor books prior, but I never tried their new one with the deckled. So these were on sale for like $19 a piece, which is not too bad of a price. And let's go ahead and open up this deckled one, see what we have. And we'll go ahead and swatch out some of the stuff that I got today. This is definitely, they're more squared off. These all have kind of more of a rounded feeling, and this is very square. That's different already from the normal 100% cotton. It is, they say cold press, but I always think of the Hanamulla books as more of a soft press. It's not extremely textured. 250, 250, 60 pages, 60 pages. So it's basically the same, only it's supposed to have the deckled edges. Let's see if we can get this tag off. I just thought it'd be fun to try one of these, and of course I had to get the one on sale. Well, this is cute. Feels the same, very more soft press than extreme cold press, which I like if I'm going to do cold press, because I tend to be a hot press person, but I like these Hanamulla books, and I like the Etcher hot pressed are my two favorite sketchbooks. So the paper feels exactly the same as in the other one, just the corners are more square. I wish they kind of rolled those. They're kind of pokey. And just nice clean watercolor paper on front and back cover. And the band is nice and strong. So that's a great purchase. And then I got some, I have used these, which is the Prismacolor color erase. I really like the blue color, so I just got another one of those. That was a restock. I have a black one of these really fine thin brush tip. Look how thin that brush is. And so I thought I'd try the brown on this. I used the black a little bit. It's the Brush Sign Pen. It's like they're ultra fine, I want to say. And it has real brush hairs, which I really like. Then I want to use a couple more of my dip brush, what do you call it? I can't think of the name. But anyway, this is the handle for the dip brush. Very inexpensive. I think it was under $5. So that'll be perfect for that. And then I thought I would try some new different white jelly type pens. So these are the Milky Pops, and I heard those were really good. And the Deco Gel Milky Way. So I don't know. This looks like a normal gel pen. So we'll try this out on some toned paper. And then these Milky Pops are like a gel pen too. They look a little bit fatter. So we'll give that a try as well. because my gel pens always tend to get clogged up. I have the simple jelly rolls, and I think I just get too fine of a tip or something, and it doesn't quite roll out very nicely over watercolor. They get clogged up. So these are an experimental trial today. We'll try those out. I got this little composer thing. It's in cardboard instead of the plastic kind, but I thought it would be nice to just slip in my bag. It has the grayscale color chart and a couple other charts on the back. It's kind of a simple reference, so that will go in my to-go kit. I tend to use the acrylic inks or the high flows when I use any type of acrylics as underpaintings, and sometimes they just dry too quick. So I will go ahead and swatch out these new colors that I got today. I got yellow ochre and burnt umber in the high flow, and I got in Holbein acrylic ink, I got does this one brown and quinacridone gold. I can never pronounce those names sometimes correctly. So we'll go ahead and swatch those out. And then, so since things tend to dry a little too fast for me sometimes on those, I got the open acrylic medium matte. Hopefully this will slow it down a little bit so I have a little more time to work with them. And we'll try this. That's an experiment. A little what do you call it? Masking fluid. I usually use the Holbein. I thought this one gets really good reviews, so I thought I'd give this one a try. It's quite a tiny little bottle, which is good if you want to take it with you, except that it's glass. Now let's go to this big bag here. I decided, I heard great reviews about these, and I thought that I would give them a try. I have a few Poscas, I have a few Molotow, but they all have like that push nib where it's like a little bit fatter of a round, and then I have the ultra fine, a couple of the Posca ones, but those make like perfect dots. But this is supposed to have, if I can get it open, there we go, a really fine brush on an acrylic marker. Let me see if I can. So I got a whole bunch of colors of these. I think I have about 22 markers here in the colors that I thought I would use and want. And I didn't want all that big box and that packaging and everything, so I thought this would be a much nicer way. I just picked the colors that I thought I would use, and we'll swatch them and go over all the colors that I picked out in a couple of minutes. And then there's a new product on the market which I had to get my hands on, and I saw that Helen had these on her channel right after I ordered these, actually, and I watched her review, and she actually had an update, and they look fantastic, even more fantastic than I thought they were going to be. And oops, these are the new drawing oils by R&F, and they are drying oil pastels basically. So you can paint with these, you can draw with them. They're not as soft as the oil bars that they have, the big thick oil bars, but they're supposed to be as soft as an oil pastel, but they dry down completely, so you don't need to fix them like regular oil pastels. Now they might have a little bit of a, wow. Okay, they do feel like oil pastels, so let's go ahead and get these out of their boxes. We'll just use one box to lay them all in out of the other boxes. And a lot of them were out of stock, so I just got, I think, about 10 of them to try them to see if I liked them. Because those new Neo Arts were pastels that actually, you know, dried down, which were fantastic, but they were a little hard. And I've been enjoying them for using them in little spots over watercolors, but they didn't have quite as smooth of a consistency. So we are going to test all those out and have a little bit of fun. So let me get the sketchbook and let's start swatching and testing and having some fun. All right, I got the sketchbook here. So let's just go to the back. I always put a piece of tracing paper in, cut maybe a little bit smaller than the sketchbook to stop transfer when I'm out and about. Get a clip. And I took off, they have seals on the bottoms or underneath here, and I took those off in advance just so that we could. This is the yellow ochre. And burnt umber. Quin gold. And that long immunodazzlone brown. And also what I want to do, I didn't check and see if it has one of those. Let's take that off. Just a little experiment. So I'll just go ahead and spread these just a little bit, and I want to see if that one up there that I put a little bit of the medium on takes a lot longer to dry. These colors look really pretty. They look pretty together. I realized that I was really lacking in browns. All right, we'll let those dry for a couple minutes and we'll see if that one's still damp so that we can find out if it works in that way or not. Now let me feel one of these Milky Pops. I'll bring the book up closer after a little bit. Ooh, that does work nice. All right, I think I'm going to be happy with that. I don't know if you can see that or not. The paper is not that tinted. I had a little water on my hands. And this one also works really nice. Let me bring that up. This paper is just a toned tan, so it's not real dark. Maybe we'll take those and go over something else. And then I had gotten this brown, the Real Thin brush. You can get a really thin line. I do like the black one of that, so I already knew that I was probably going to like it. I just needed brown. I've been in at a brown stage lately. Let me see if I can get you just a little bit closer. And here we go. All right, let's go ahead and start doing some of these markers. Olive green. These tops are really tight, which is good. I think I'm going to like these. Only for the top over watercolor, though. I don't think I'd ever do a whole picture in them. Let me see. Canary. Wow, these tops are really hard to, like, pull off. They have some gusto to them. And they are a little messy. I mean, all paint markers are a little messy, so. Then we have Curie. I think you can shake them to get even a better flow. Yeah, I shook that one and then all of a sudden it was coming out even better. Sandstone. Black. It's a pretty dark black. This paper's really soaking it in. Although here in Arizona, it's extremely dry. So we have really dry. I'm going to shake them just a tiny bit before I go ahead. Ooh, look at that. That is vivid. That is antique pink. I wouldn't think that one was antique pink. I think it looks more like a bright pink. Lilac. Yeah, they're definitely a little juicier. If I do a little like this and turquoise, yeah, they're definitely juicier to get them going. They came preloaded, so you didn't need to like bring them down into the brush or anything. Henna, but they definitely need a little shake. Praline. On these markers, I did see that a lot of the colors looked very similar in the boxes when people were swatching out the whole boxes, so I just didn't want all of them. Oh, that's pretty. Almond. Giving me my workout here with all these shakes. That's almost an exact match for that paper. Can barely see it at all. It is there. Sorry for the little fuzzies. Lime green. I think I'm really going to like these Real Brush ones. They do have a little ball, if you can hear that. I'm like doing a little bit of shake, shake, shake. And we got rosewood. Sapphire. Sorry if I'm shaking the camera and everything, because I am giving these a little bit of a... This is the white. I hope the white's good. I really hope the white's good. Well, that's pretty good. You can see it even on just the lightly toned paper. Cinnamon. Cocoa. Colors look good. Duck egg. Some of them are quite muted, although on toned paper they might be looking a tiny bit. But I wanted to see their opacity too, if they completely covered up the paper behind them, and they are. So even on a toned like gray, I think they would work. orange red. And these are all colors that I didn't think I had in any other acrylic type marker. The Poscas tend to be, there's not a lot of muted colors or anything like that. They tend to be very just vivid in your face colors, which is not a bad thing. It's just I wanted something a little bit different. This is salmon pink. Ooh, that one's quite bright. Olive black. And you know, when I priced these out, the price on the kits didn't save you a lot of money per marker. You know, if it saves you like a huge quantity, it's worth it just having the extra ones. Poppy. But it didn't save you. It saved you like 10 cents a marker or something like that. And there was no sense in saving 10 cents and paying a whole bunch of extra money for colors that I didn't need. Cool gray too. Getting my workout in for the day. Ochre. Sepia. That one's really dark. Copper brown. Gray 3. These tops are hard to get off. And I wouldn't consider myself extremely strong or anything, but I've never had as much of a problem with the cap though. And leaf green. Alright, let me bring those up. You can take a little peek. And also, if you can see up here, all of these are dry, and this one is still sopping wet. So that medium is doing a fantastic job. Alright, since we're down to just these, let's get in even closer. Alright, let's see how these feel. They said that there might be a tiny bit of skin on them. Let me get a towel just in case. In case there's a skin. I don't think there's any skin on that one. These roll on so smooth. Oh, yes. This one feels like it's got a little bit of that skin. They will get a little bit of skin just because they are drying. And so if they get a little bit of it, you just gotta take a cloth and hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Maybe you can see how it, since they are completely drying oils, but they're not as soft as those like big sticks. And see, that's like butter. I'd consider these as soft as Sennelier pastel. They're softer than I thought they were going to be. I thought they were going to be more like a I don't know, neo pastel, a little bit firmer. These are really quite soft. Yeah, see, they got just a little bit, not like the big sticks, but you could use solvent and do a whole oil painting with these if you wanted to. There we go. That one was iridescent pewter. The green was permanent green, and this was quinacridone magenta light. And this one's got a little coating too. I think if you use them on a regular basis, you won't have as much coating, but Really beautiful. This is, I keep forgetting to tell you the names, Chrome Oxide Green. This is Phthalo Blue. Nice thing is you could take oils anywhere then and do full oil painting with these and not have to worry about like caps, mess, airport security. That one is the nickel yellow. I have a white. Wow, look at that white. That's a good white. That's a really good white. And then we have, yeah, that was a titanium zinc white. So it's kind of in between. Cerulean extra pale. And if you press a little bit, it kind of takes that coating right off without even having to take the paper towel to it. So that's quite easy. And then we have quinacridone magenta. These come out like, they're as smooth as like a lipstick. They're definitely as soft as like a Sennelier regular oil pastel. I don't have any of their oil bars, but I hear that their oil bars are really soft. So these are definitely a lot more firm than that. Beautiful green, Veronese green. And then we have Egyptian violet. And when I was watching Helen's channel, this was like one of the slowest drying. And in about a week it was tacky on her. So I guess if you have like this to put between your pages, you could do your whole painting, throw this between, and then just open it up and let it dry out. You don't need any type of fixative or anything because they will just go ahead and dry. So let me see how smudgy they are. Let me get a little smudger. Let's see if they do this. Oh, very easily. Like I'm barely putting any pressure at all. And they are just blending out. Same thing here. And look how beautiful they blend really easily. Yeah, really easily. So they blend beautifully. It's just like using a light coat of oils. Oh, I'm really happy with those. They are super soft, really nice. I'm going to have a lot of fun. So I think that is all my haul for today. Oh, you know what? Let me give you a closer view. And you can see that one, you can see how nicely those blend. This is still wet. It's starting to dry a little bit. I'd say it's about halfway now. So that will definitely, if you ever wanted to try the opens but they were just too expensive or you like a more fluid formula, definitely this is the route to go. And the markers worked fantastic. Great palette there. And these I am so happy with. I think I will order a few more colors of those. These were the only ones they had in stock at the time at Blick's. And this was a win-win-win thing. I love absolutely everything that I got. Oh, you know what? I didn't try these. So let's go ahead and see if these really absorb the water like they're supposed to. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and wet up this quill by Jackson's. Just happens to be the brush I have. I'm going to let it be nice and saturated, and it's supposed to make your brush really dry really fast. It does. It kind of, oh, what's that rock? That dicaceous earth or something? You know how it's kind of, you can get them as things to put your dishes on to dry? It kind of has that feeling like it just absorbs the water. Yeah, the brush is pretty dry just from rolling it over. So they may work. I'll update you on that. That's just a fun little side one. Oh, I'm so pleased. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will update you on how all of this goes, and I have several other videos in the making, so I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.